the history of Epic Games was formerly known as Potomac Computer Services, later named Epic Mega Games, and it was founded by CEO Tim Sweeney in 1991 in his parents' house in Potomac, Maryland. The first commercial video game was released through Epic was ZZT, which was an action puzzle adventure game in 1991. In 1992, Tim then brought in Mark Ryan as the VP, who is still there today. And in 1991, the company moved from Maryland to Cary, North Carolina. And after moving, the studio's name was then simplified to Epic Games. And Mega was dropped out of the name after moving to stop pretending to be a big company, as that was the original intention when it was just Tim working in his house.
And then this is like the progression of their logos from the first to the present.
So my SWOT analysis, the strengths, they have a huge following, huge customer base. Fortnite has taken over and changed gaming. Battle Pass and microtransactions are bringing in unbelievable numbers, and they have their game engine is called the Unreal Engine. That I'll get into that later. Weaknesses, they have no corporate phone number for more employees to help for account issues, so it's really hard. It's all email based, and you can't talk to anybody. Fortnite has become a sweaty environment, and it's not really tailored for beginners anymore, so you can't really just pick it up and expect to win anymore. Opportunities include using the Unreal Engine for a variety of purposes. I'll get into that later. And expanding into more games, helping other popular games become cross-platform like Fortnite is, and updating the Fortnite map and putting out new cosmetics to increase attention and revenue. And then threats would be Battle Royale games such as Apex Legends, which is fairly new, as well as PUBG. And I just found out that PUBG is actually using Fortnite's Epic Games Unreal Engine. So when people are downloading and using PUBG, Epic is actually making money off of it, which is obviously mind-boggling to me. And then other new games can pop up and take the throne. And then interest can fall at any point, and poor updates can lead to people being disinterested. So Fortnite, for whoever doesn't know, Fortnite's a battle royale game style where 100 people drop in without weapons. They have the same criteria, and they go around finding special stuff, mobility, weapons, and eliminating each other in hopes of being the last person alive. They had 8 seasons. The first one wasn't really a battle pass, but they've had season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and all of these are cosmetics that around 100 new items. They generated $1 billion in Gears of War sales alone. And in 2012, they sold 40% of the business to a Chinese conglomerate, Tencent, for $330 million. And I'll show the numbers for that in a couple slides. And cosmetic sales have been over $1.5 billion to date. February was $126 million, and March was $223 million alone. And with new skins and cosmetics coming out every week, interest from kids as well as adults are just rising. And through surveys, almost 75% of players that have admitted to playing this game have admitted to spending real money on it.
So cosmetics, you talking about the Khloe Kardashian cosmetics?
Like cosmetics like skins, pickaxes, gliders, gun skins, like things that grant you no special ability to the game, it just makes you look cool. I'm guilty of that too. So, so crossplay and users, they span over PlayStation, Xbox, PC, mobile, as well as the Nintendo Switch. And unlike most popular games, you can play with players who don't have the same console as you. And they also have 10.8 million concurrent players. And this is when the game first came out to now having 250 million players, which is insane.
In 2 years.
Yep.
It really took off.
Insane.
You think?
Yeah.
So Fortnite content creation and streaming have become huge for Fortnite. So both YouTube and Twitch both utilizing that. These are some of the people I watch. So Ninja's got 21.9 million, Tfue has 10.4 million subs, Courage at 1.4, Nick830 at 4.4, and Dr. Lupo at 1.4, all insane numbers. And streamers then can be picked up by companies like Razer, Corsair, NZXT, as well as partnering with consoles like Sony and Xbox, and as well as being recognized by esports teams such as FaZe, 100 Thieves, Luminosity, and TSM, etc. I don't know what just happened. Maybe oh, nope. Alright, so I got a little clip here. Just a minute. So this clip broke the streaming record was 330 million, and this stream brought in 600,000 streamers. 600,000 people streaming it.
Oh, it's got eggs like me. Literally kill him and he's so weak, man. Please. Please just shoot him. Yes, Jack, no!
So he's playing with Travis Scott, he's a well-known rapper, Drake, as well as Juju Smith-Schuster, the wide receiver for the Steelers. But anyways, I just wanted to show that. And then back to. Alright, so this squad was those four. 628,000 concurrent viewers, which basically doubled the record, which was 388,000 for a single stream. And these numbers are just showing that Fortnite has potential for live stream and is only going to get bigger in the future. For competitive gaming, it basically differentiates the best players from the worst. The qualifiers determine whether or not you can place for an event. And they've actually had small pop-up cups like the Scallywag, Architect pop-up cups, and like Winter Royale and stuff like that. And that's actually been going on for months. But recently, the Fortnite World Cup, they've had qualifiers for like the last month or so. And they have a $1 million prize pool each week, as well as a $30 million finals prize pool. And if you qualify, you're basically guaranteed a $50,000 check for minimum just for placing, which is insane. So the Unreal Engine is basically the engine that powers Epic. It's the game engine developed by Epic Games, and it was first developed for FPS games. But as it expanded into stealth, fighting, MMORPGs, as well as other RPG games, and features a high degree of portability as it is source available and has C++ coding. So an Unreal Engine 1 was released in 1991. It had software, hardware rendering, collision detection, color lighting, real-time solid geometry, skeletal animations, and terrain support. The second generation was released in 2002. It had cinematic editing tools, export plugins, math engines, Karma physics engines powered by Ragdoll physics. The third variation was released in 2004, and as well as the fourth one in 2014, which you can see took 10 years, so it's obviously insane. And Unreal Engine 4 now has 7 million users globally from game design and enterprise communities spanning into a variety of areas. So Epic has a bunch of mergers and partnerships. So these are all the platforms that they support, which you can play games on, as well as merging with the NFL and releasing cosmetics and various skins for the NFL, the World Cup, and changing the map and putting a soccer field, a football field, as well as the Avengers Endgame like we did for the Starbucks. We thought that'd be a good idea. They're doing that on Thursday before the game comes out, or before the movie comes out. So that'll be exciting, as well as this is the company that bought 40% of Epic in 2012, and they make $7.4 billion a year in comparison to basically the largest companies in our eyes. So it just shows how big Epic really is. So the corporate social responsibility, they give back to the players as well as their community. September 4th, 2014, Epic released the Unreal Engine 4 for free to schools and universities, as well as personal copies for those students who are enrolled in video game development, computer science, architecture, and simulation. They also have a thing in the item shop called Support a Creator Code that gives back to creators and streamers for their work. The use of the Unreal Engine is being used for beyond video games, for architecture design, medical research, and 3D printing, as well as car manufacturing, taking it beyond the controller. And the CEO, Tim Sweeney, has donated $15 million for 7,000 acres of land in North Carolina right by the facility to be donated to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services for preservation, and among others. Those are just examples. And then these are my references, and any questions?
Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
What season did you start playing Fortnite?
The end of season 2. So I missed the battle pass sadly.
So you're saying that you cannot be a multi-sport player? You can't play good in two of these?
People aren't good enough. A lot of people that are pros in like League and stuff can be pros in CS, but they're on like such strict schedules that like for like those like really big esports that they don't have the time to play them.
Yeah. Like you kind of commit yourself to
Yeah, it's like you're on like basically playing NFL or NBA, like that's your thing, and you're sticking to it.
You'll
You
find
could
some streamers that
stop,
like.
you could pull like you could do like Michael
Most of them
Jordan,
live
and
in the
then-
same house.
And then just stop
Yeah.
playing one game and play another, but you can't like do, unless you, streamers are different because they can just play whatever game they want to and whatever like sponsors they get, people
Yeah.
watch, but like
Most
those like
streamers aren't.
esport pros,
Yeah.
they can only do one at a time.
Yeah. Something they have to do, they have to be adaptable too. Like, so if a game isn't taking off the way that it was like estimated to and it dies, they have to switch and get good at another game.
Like Ninja, who streams Fortnite, started on H1Z1, and then the game died, and then he went to PUBG, and then he saw Fortnite really take off, so he jumped on Fortnite, which they're all like the same kind of game.
Yeah.
And then that's how he became like the number one streamer.
I think he makes like 300 million a month or something like that. It's another
Literally insane.
And-
paycheck's nuts.
And it's not that he's making money being a gamer, he's making money being a streamer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, oh,
A
yeah.
personality, yes.
So he gets money donated to him, like every few seconds basically if you watch the stream. He gets money from
Someone's down.
sponsors, and he gets money from running ads.
He once said if you're not paying him $30K for an hour worth of game time, whatever company you are, you're not worth his time. So like for an hour, $30K at least.
So like you talked about too, like all the sponsorships with like different
Oh, yeah.
kinds of like everybody's got a sponsor as a streamer.
Yes.
Mind-boggling.
Like the environment.
So do you see the death of traditional sports?
No.
Dude, the Super Bowl's dying. Viewership is
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Super Bowl's dying. Viewership is down. I don't see it like being phased
That's
out,
because everyone legally streams.
but I see that esports could take over.
That's true.
For how many years?
What's that?
No, that's what I'm saying. It will die out.
In 50 years, will it still be the Super Bowl, or will it be?
Yes.
I think it'll be- I think it'll be-
I think there was the World Series.
There was Kodak in that, remember, there's no Kodak now.
You should go for StarCraft.
I mean,
Well,
well,
thank you.